Hi everybody. So I am Nikhil Prashad Singh, legal associate at SecureDApp, and today we will unpack the BVI, British Virgin Islands Virtual Digital Asset Service Provider Act, and what it requires, who must register, key obligations for custody and exchanges, AML compliance duties, and practical takeaways for teams building tokenization and custody business. We'll keep this practical and conversational, and I will flag where legal team should act first. So first of all, what is the VASP Act? So VASP Act is British Virgin Islands legal framework for regulating virtual asset service providers. It came into force on 1st February 2023, and it creates a registration and supervisory regime administered by the BVI Financial Services Commissions, the FSC. The Act covers registration, ongoing obligations, custody and exchange approvals, AML-CFT alignment, a regulatory sandbox, and enforcement powers. Okay, so who first of all who must register? So the VSP Act makes it an offense to carry on the business of providing virtual asset services in or from within the VVI without registration. So that includes exchanges, custody providers, and other services defined as VASP. So notably, a BVI company conducting services from offshore but controlled in BVI may still be captured. So the rule is wide, and if you operate in from deemed to be carrying on the business from within the BVI, you need a registration. So what are the registration categories? So applications can be applied to be registered as VSP across categories, including general virtual asset services, custody services, and exchange services. So custody and exchange activities carry additional specific requirements under Part 4 of the Act, and the FSC publishes application forms and guidance, plan for detailed disclosure, governance information, audited financial and technology controls. Then there is local presence and authorized representative. So overseas applicants cannot treat the BVI as mailbox jurisdiction. Okay, so the Act requires the appointment of an authorized representative who is resident in BVI and who can accept services and liaise with the FSC. Further, a representative has a statutory functions and duties. So choosing a compliant, responsive local representative is a practical requirement and not a formality. Okay, now we move on to corporate governance audits and reporting. Okay, so a registered VSP must maintain sound financial condition, appoint auditor, prepare audits, and file audited financial statement, and keep management and senior officials who meet fit and proper criteria. The Act contains detailed provisions on auditors, audit reports, group financial statements, and notification for material changes. Expect ongoing reporting obligations and readiness for FSC inspectors. Now, what it means for client asset and custody protection. So the Act requires segregation and protection of client assets. A VASP providing custody must not encumber client virtual asset unless specifically agreed and disclosed to the beneficial owners. Now, the custody providers must maintain robust controls, reconciliation, and clear contractual terms to ensure client ownership is protected. So, this is a core consumer protection element of the law. Virtual asset exchange, that what are special controls? So first of all, exchanges face additional requirements. Okay, so resilience of trading system, market surveillance, safeguards against market manipulation, clear listing policies, measures to protect clients, and restrictions on certain activities. The commission can impose conditions limiting geography, client types, and even the types of asset that may be listed. In short, exchanges are very tightly supervised. Now, what are AMLs and CFT supervisory cooperation? So, the VASP explicitly within the scope of existing VVI laws and codes, VSP must implement KYC transaction monitoring, suspicious activity reporting, and cooperate with the financial investigation. Okay, agency. So expect AML exams, suspicious transaction reporting, and duties close supervision. The BVI treats virtual assets as subject to the same anti-money laundering standards as other financial services. So then there is sandbox and innovation pathway. So the act includes a regulatory sandbox framework to enable innovative fintechs to test products under the limited conditions before full registration. Sandbox participation have to apply, run under approvals, and then either transition to registration or cease the activity. This gives innovators and control path to market, but with clear registration timelines. Non-compliance is serious. Okay, so non-compliance is something that is very serious. The Act creates offenses for unregistered operations, misleading advertising, failure to appoint an unauthorized representatives, or breach of custody protection, and empower FSC with inspections and enforcement powers, including cancellation and revocation of registration. Now, what are the practical implications of the marketing plan? Now, the VASP Act brings clarity in the BVI business, know the licensing path and FSC supervisory role. This can be attractive for custody tokenizing platforms and exchange seeking a regulated BVI base. Expect what are compliance cost and capability. Expect meaningful compliance spend, AML programs, local authorized representative audits, uh, technology's resilience, and governance. Okay. Now further, the BVI is popular corporate jurisdiction if your entity is BVI incorporated but economically active elsewhere. Consider where the activity is carried on for licensing purposes. The Act can pull in such entities to BVI supervision. Now, the trust and custody. Client-based client asset protection prohibition on in-company client holding without consent increase user trust or custody. Businesses that do things properly. Now, so in short, the BVI VASP Act creates a clear activity-based regulatory regime that strengthens consumer protection, bring VASPs into BVI supervision and others, and offers an innovation pathway via sandbox for teams in planning custody exchange or tokenization businesses. The message is plan for compliance early, appoint a strong authorized representative, and build operational controls that meets financial grade standards. If you would like, I can convert this into a slide deck. Okay, so thank you for watching. I am Nikhil Prashad Singh, and if you like this video, please subscribe and comment, and please share with your friends. So further, wait for the next deep dive.